guest. She's been waiting so patiently for us. Dr. Wendy Walsh, author of The Boyfriend Test and The Girlfriend Test, a PhD in clinical psychology and specializes in human attachment. Don't we all know? She knows a lot more about this than I do. But she's currently writing a book about technology and relationships called Love Ver 2.0. Get it? Like Love Version 2.0.
Oh, and kind of like Lover 2.0.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you guys can follow her on Facebook at Wendy Walsh and also on her Twitter at Dr. Wendy Walsh. Miss Wendy, thank you for joining us on our show today.
Dr. Wendy, can you help?
I'm so happy to be here.
Can you help Brian Tong? Seriously.
What? I don't have.
Problem.
I don't have any issues on now. Wendy, the thing that right off the bat that we want to talk to you about is we know tech is here. Tech has taken over our lives in so many ways, but from what you've seen, how has tech really changed the whole dating relationship scene?
Mm-hmm.
I think like there are really two major areas that tech has infiltrated and caused a big shift in how we date, mate, and relate to each other.
Ooh.
And the first is that it just provides, it's a good thing, lots of opportunity to meet someone. You know, if you lived 100 years ago, you were going to marry somebody who lived within a 1 mile radius of you. And she might have been your best friend's cousin, and one eye might have gone over there, but she was what was left, all right? So now we have this opportunity to go online and find anybody anywhere in the world, and we can actually use our own romantic projections to imagine that they're a fabulous person, even if they're not. It's great. The problem is it's created a kind of love ADD, an attention deficit disorder, where very few young people are spending the time to build intimacy, and you know, they've all become sort of commitment phobics because there are 18 people waiting for them on Match.com, another 20 on their Facebook page, and they just got a new tweet from somebody. So that's the danger, is that it provides opportunity, but it creates a kind of love ADD.
That makes sense because it's just like the world of choices in the grocery store, right? It's hard to commit when you think it's hard to commit to a Friday night plan if you think a better Friday night plan might come along.
Wendy, were you looking at my Facebook profile when you mentioned those numbers?
I saw all the highlights on your Facebook.
You Facebook stock. You Facebook stock. I like that.
Dude, who doesn't? Come on.
Now, Wendy, go ahead.
There's another big thing, though, and that is that while, you know, we created this technology so we could keep in touch, we're actually not touching anything very tender. So the digital world, digital communication, has made us have kind of a lack of intimacy. Text is about the same, if you're trying to imagine what is the emotional content of a text, is about the same as listening to your favorite band without the drummer or the vocalist. That's really what it is, okay? Because when we communicate, we're getting all kinds of information from body language, from eye contact, from pheromones. We're smelling people out. So, and vocal tone, of course. So a text, what the heck does that mean? And when people try to joke via text or do sarcasm, whoa, dangerous, really close.
Has that been dangerous for you, Molly?
What are you talking about? No, I mean, I think that there's a whole new world of communication, and we actually have some emails to this effect. And one of the problems, right, is that you're getting these messages that are text only a lot of times, and the meaning can be stripped out of them.
Yeah. In fact, if we have a chance today, I'd like to go over my 10 rules for growing love through technology. But rule number 1 is actually that voice has to outnumber text.
Oh.
So if you're really trying to have a real relationship, you got to pick up the phone and dial the digits, or you got to meet face. You can't be just texting and think it's a relationship, because it's not.
Who wants a pen pal? I mean, seriously, you know, I got a lot of pen pals.
Yeah,
so do really fascinating is that when people have an email and text relationship where they're not talking and they're not seeing each other, what's actually happening is it's like two people living out their own personal fantasies, but they're two separate relationships going on because it's their own projections. It's not reality.
Now, Dr. Wendy, when you talk about living out your fantasies, one thing that, you know, everyone here could probably agree on, and you know, there's a lot of sexting going on, and does, you know, not from my phone. I mean, you can look at all my messages before I delete them. But is that we've taught, you know, people always kind of will reference how like men are emotionally like dysfunctional a lot of times, and does this almost pile onto the fact that now they're just using this as a tool to, or men and women, to just procure like sexual relations and nothing like beyond that?
Well, I mean, we're in a place where people are trying desperately hard to separate the sexual act from the emotional act. And so they're using technology to do that. But in truth, sex bonds people. Sex builds relationship. You can be in denial. And plenty of guys, by the way, they don't have that oxytocin, that female bonding hormone that gets released when they have orgasms, but women do. So plenty of women will say to me, why hasn't he called me back? And I said, I thought you didn't like him. I thought that was sports sex. Thought that was just a hookup. Yeah, but he should at least call me back, because her body is getting attached and she doesn't know why. Also, so we have to remember that women are, you know, I'm a big feminist, of course. I'm here and I have the freedom to say what I want to say because of feminism. I'm very indebted to it. But the problem is we are certainly far from equal. And women are wired differently. And you remember the whole Duke grads F list that she came out with? Remember the chick who graduated and did the whole PowerPoint on her top do's during the, well, you know, when I read it, I saw a lot of disassociation going on. You know, she was really behaving exactly man-like. And that's not a woman's strongest power. Women have a lot of other powers of learning how to bond. And it used to be us that kept men in emotional check. But I think women have sort of stopped working. And then they wonder why they end up in my office in tears.
Well, and it's because I think women decided that they felt like they had to do that, that somehow that was a way, like, that, you know, to translate that into real world advice, it's been my experience that when a woman tells you that she's not going to get attached, for the most part, unless she has a badly broken heart, she is lying. Like, it is a lie. She might not even know that she's lying when she says, oh, we're just going to be friends and it's going to be friends with benefits and whatever. No, it's a lie.
There's this other sort of lifespan piece, because most of the hookups and the craziness are happening in teens and 20s and early 30s. And then what happens is knock, 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 that biological clock goes bing, bong, bong to a woman, and she suddenly has to figure out how to have long-term monogamy and how to pick a guy. But now she's trained all the guys in her peer group to just get hookups.
Yeah.
So why are they signed on to it?
And that
because even she says, I want to get married now and have kids. He goes, you know, if I just move to a 25-year-old, I can just get what I need, sex.
Yeah, because I just bing, bong, bonged you.
Yes, they kind of screwed it up for themselves in a way, because they're training the men in their peer group to only desire sex. You know, I hate to sound like my grandmother from the 1940s or 50s, but it is so true. Why is he going to buy the cow if he's getting the milk for free?
Because sometimes the milk is really good. Okay, Dr. Wendy, we're going to jump to the emails in a second, but you mentioned some of your dating tips. Could you just kind of quickly go over maybe 3 or 4 more of your like tech etiquette tips? Just list them off, and
these are ways to use technology in a helpful way to grow relationships, okay? So these are our points. So one, I said phone calls, I have to outnumber emails. Number 2, if you're in a budding relationship, you're dating, or even if you're long-term married, send texts regularly, once or twice a day. Don't go into compartment relationships where somebody goes to work for 12 hours, you don't see them, you come back, and now they're you want to sort of stay in their mind, even if the text is just, hey, thinking of you, hope you're having a good day. Also, don't bombard them with text. That is stalker stuff. So, you know, you don't need your girlfriend or your boyfriend every hour of the day. Did your boss come in? What did he say? What's going on? Because then there's like too much codependence and it's just weird, okay? But, you know, a lunchtime thinking of you, honey, can't wait for tonight is a lovely way to stay in touch and grow intimacy. Okay, only say positive things via text. Okay, 140 characters is no room to criticize, complain, give advice, or explain anything about your complicated life.
That's a real good one.
You are not Ernest Hemingway. You can't do it in brevity, okay? So the text should say, thinking of you, wish you were here, or give me a call sometime. Or, I'm running a couple minutes late for dinner. Can we make it at 7:15? Scheduling, housekeeping, scheduling business is fine via text. Don't get into a conversation, not with emotional content.
Right.
Awesome.
So number 5 is what I just said, use text to schedule an intimate phone call. Okay? And so that because sometimes we call people and we catch them at the office and they got their office voice, and you don't know that their boys club is standing around them, and you're trying to be all lovey and they're just being cold, and then you're hurt. So how about, are you up for a phone call? A little text first, right?
I don't know what you're talking about with the boys listening over your shoulder and you not being lovey. So Dr. Wendy, we're gonna